Hello everyone, this is Vortex259. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy II. In our previous episode, the rebels dealt a severe blow to the Empire. Firion and his friends tossed the Sunfire into the Dreadnought's engine, causing it to explode. Now fortunately, Firion and his party members were able to escape before the Dreadnought blew up into a million pieces. Sid met us with his airship, and he taxied us back to the village of Altair, in front of which we now stand. So, the rebels have scored a big victory, and the Empire has suffered a loss, which is definitely a good thing, but we can't let down our guard. I'm sure the Emperor is already starting to plan his revenge. But let's go back into the village of Altair and go back into the rebel base. I'm sure Hilda is probably celebrating the Dreadnought's destruction. Maybe she has another mission for us. Let's go back inside the rebel base and find out. And you know, a lot has happened since the last time we visited here. Let's talk to a few of the people in here and see what's on their minds. This lady says the princess is safe and well. I wish the same were true of the king. Oh no, sounds like the king isn't doing too well. I thought he would have recovered by now. But that's not the case. This man says it's just terrible. The king's condition has taken a sudden turn for the worse. So it sounds like the king may be near death. Let's go visit him in his bedroom. So let's go over here onto the northeastern side of the rebel base to the king's bedroom. And we get a cutscene. Yep, the king is not doing well at all. Firion and his friends kneel before the king, and Gordon steps around and kneels at the king's bedside. And the King of Finn looks around. He says, Gordon, Minwu, and Firion, I have one last request to ask of each of you. Please listen carefully. Gordon, you've grown so strong. I want you to lead our army. Oh man, you're going to put Gordon in charge? Do all you can to help Hilda. Gordon kneels and says, my liege, I swear it on my very life. And the king then turns to Minwu and says, Minwu, you know of the legend that speaks of an ultimate magic. It's been sealed away, and the seal may only be broken when the world stands at the brink of destruction. I believe that time has come. Do you agree? And Minwu kneels before his king and says, I do. The time to break the seal binding the Ultimatome is upon us. Okay, the Ultimatome. Wow, that sounds like a powerful magic spell. This is the first time we hear of Ultima in the Final Fantasy series. And then finally the king turns to Firion and says, Firion, I would have you go to Deist, home of the Dragoons. I was told that all of the Dragoons were slain in an attack by the Empire. Yet I refuse to believe there could be no survivors in so noble a group. If we are to stand against the might of the Empire, I am convinced we will need the Dragoons and their wyverns. If you combine your efforts, the day of our victory will come. This I ask of each of you. And then the room gets dark for the king, and he says, take care of Hilda. And those are the king's last words. He then passes away. Soldiers say, Your Majesty. So it's a dark day for the Kingdom of Finn. They have lost their king. Gordon says, we should save our tears for another time. We must carry out the king's last wishes. We each have our duties. Let them not go unfulfilled. So the king's last words were actually requests of Gordon, Minwu, and Firion. All three of them have their own tasks to do for the king. But you know, I find it kind of odd that Hilda was not near her father's bedside when he passed away. Where in the world could she be? Do you think she could be in her bedroom? Well, let's go take a look and find out. Yep, she sure is. There she is, standing right there. Hilda, your father just... And she just kind of giggles at us. What in the world? Man, something's not right with that woman. Well, you know, she's been through a lot. She was kidnapped, and she saw her kingdom burn to the ground, so maybe she's having a nervous breakdown or something. Well, we'll just leave Hilda alone for now. But we need to find out more about these Dragoons and the Kingdom of Deist. Maybe Gordon can offer some insight. He's now rightfully sitting on the throne after the king has requested that he become the new leader of the rebel army. And Gordon says, when the Emperor first moved against Deist, we dismissed the attack as a mere skirmish. but the Emperor feared the power of the dragoons. He meant to wipe them out. And we get to learn a new key term here, which is dragoons. First key term we've learned in a while. Well, let's ask Gordon about the dragoons. He says some of the dragoons can speak the language of the wyverns, which is another new key term. That's interesting. Dragoons can apparently communicate with their wyverns. Let's ask about the wyverns here. If you go to Deist, you may find that wyverns still live. A wyvern would make for a most potent ally. You should visit the ports of Paloom and seek out a ship to take you to Deist. Okay. Well, do you think maybe the guy that normally runs the ferry to Poth from Paloom will give us a ride to Deist? Well, there's only one way to find out. We're going to go to the village of Paloom and check it out. So what I'm going to do is walk to the village of Paloom, and once I get there, we'll take a look around town. See you there. And hello again, everyone. I've made my way to the village of Paloom. Now, before we seek passage to Deist, it may be a good idea to stock up on as many potions and high potions as we possibly can. But what I would really recommend is purchasing as many cottages as you possibly can. Where we're going is going to have no inns available, and there's really no method to recover your HP and MP other than through cottages. And the monsters are going to be much stronger there, so you're probably going to be wanting to recover as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go to the item shop and make some purchases, and once I get that done, I'll meet right back up with you. Okay, I am back for my shopping spree. You can see I now own 50 potions, 25 high potions, and I went ahead and bought 10 cottages, which should be sufficient for doing some grinding while on Deist. Well, assuming of course that we actually get there. We need to actually seek passage there first, so let's do a little bit of exploring around the town here. And hey, this person wasn't standing here before. Who in the world is this? Well, let's just talk to this person and find out. Oh, it's a spicy sailor lass. She says, "You folks looking for passage to Deist, are ye? Well, this be your lucky day." That particular dialect sounds a bit suspicious, doesn't it? "Just so happens me ship was about to leave for Deist. Be ye wanting a ride?" And Maria pulls Firion aside and says, "Doesn't this seem a little too convenient, Firion?" And Firion says, "Maybe it is, but there aren't any other ships going to Deist. We're just going to have to trust her. Do you think we can trust this pretty lady?" Well, she just giggles and says, "Me name's Layla." That's right, this is the spicy, sassy, sweet Layla. Got me on my knees, Layla. And she says, "I'll be waiting outside the city for you. We'll weigh anchor as soon as you're set to go." So she walks off. So I guess we're going to have no choice but to trust Layla. So let's do so. Let's step outside, back onto the overworld, and we find her ship up there. How convenient. Let's go to the ship. Okay, let's just get on the ship and sit back and relax and grab a cold one. Maybe get out the fishing rod and fish while Layla and her crew take us to Deist. Uh-oh. What's this? Oh no, it's pirates. You meanie. Layla says trusting pirates doesn't say much for the space you got between your ears. We'll spare you your lives, but your loot be ours now. What's this? Is it a fight you be wanting? You really are stupid. Get 'em, boys. So just like in Final Fantasy 1, here in Final Fantasy 2, we get to fight more pirates. And they're really easy, just like they were in Final Fantasy 1. They don't have too much HP. In fact, a couple of rounds of Maria's level 4 Blizzard spell and Guy's level 4 Fire spell should easily take them out. So I'm going to do so here. Maria starts off the party with a little bit of damage. 20 to 30 it looks like. Another extra 15 to 25 for Guy. We take down 1 of 7. Yarg. Where's me gold, matey? Well, it's about to be Firion's. And Maria kill hauls them. We take down the pirates. Nothing to it. Look at all that gil. 3,150. Guy gets an MP bonus. Cool. Intelligence and magic bonus too. Layla says, enough. I know when I'm beat. Go on then. Do what you're gonna do and be done with it. She just resigns herself to death. And Firion starts whispering to Guy and Maria. Layla says, what are ye up to? You want to fight the Empire together? A bunch of outcasts like us fighting right alongside the likes of you. I think I like the sound of that. To your post, boys. Whether it be Deast or the bloody edge of the world, we'll get you there. So, Layla joins the party, and we now get a ship. Alright. Alright, well, we'll continue to sail to Deast in our next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy II. Thank you very much for watching today. This has been Vortex 259. We'll see you again next time.